the last of the peas that I've just been picking, and I shelled those. I just shelled those and put them in the composter, and that's the last of the crop of peas that I've gotten out of this greenhouse. And let me show you what peas I'm talking about. Now you see, if you go along the bottom here, from here, to this post right here, and not this one yet, these are still growing, but I harvested the last of these. Now, I noticed here I missed a couple of these. These are easy to miss. Well, okay, so we picked the rest of those that we missed. I'm not sure how we missed them. But anyway, you can see here and here, those are what we picked. And also above this pipe, here and here, see there's not a lot that went above there. And here, these went above there quite a ways. But I picked all these. Now the bottom line of all of these peas is I got maybe 2 pounds. And I suppose, if you look at it, that's not a lot of peas, not a lot of space. But I was thinking that was a failure. But then looking at just these, what is there, a row of 16 feet maybe? 2 pounds, I guess that's not so bad. Now these are a different type of pea. I got these from Chad, and they're still growing. I think they're just starting to flower, and these, I think, have bigger pods on them. And so they're just coming into... starting to grow. So that's interesting. I could have started with these peas and probably planted these later, and these would, because they take longer to grow and mature, yeah, you'd have 2 seasons. Anyway, so today what I'm going to do is take these out of here, and I'm going to plant beans. I haven't decided what kind of beans yet, but we like beans, and it's getting warm in here. It's the middle of May, so beans will probably be in order right now. Now, let's go over here. Okay, this is my lettuce patch, and it's still looking pretty good, and there's a cooler right there, and and I have some shade cloth there. This is the one I harvested, I don't know, about 10-15 pounds off of it so far. Now, even though it looks good, and there's not a sign of bolting, if you pick these leaves now, well, that one's pretty good, but if you pick any of the older ones, like this one, oh no, I can taste, they're getting bitter, put it that way. The older one, yeah, it's bitter right away. Even though they haven't shown any classic signs of bolting, what happened was I cut this off, we harvested, and this is a cut and come again. So you might say this would be the second crop or third crop. They regrow fantastically. But it looks to me like even if you maintain the temperatures and shield them from the sun, even though they haven't bolted yet, they still start to slowly get bitter. So I'm going to have to get rid of these. Now these, don't mistake these right here. Don't mistake these for bolted lettuce. These are Pak Choi in the back. They bolted early. You can't even see them anymore because, well, yeah, you can see them. But, I'm wondering, these have bolted. I wonder if Pak Choi tastes nasty when it bolts. Actually, no. Now, I'm not a big Pak Choi connoisseur, so that tastes fine to me. This tastes bitter. So maybe if these go to seed, the Pak Choi that is, maybe that's not so bad. Anyway, what I want to show you is what we've gotten so far. It's the middle of July, or middle of May. Started this earlier this year. As I just told you a little bit ago, we got about 2 pounds of peas off of that section over there. And here we've got about 15 or so pounds of, maybe 20 pounds of lettuce, really good lettuce. And probably a lesson I learned is probably you should harvest lettuce like this if you're going to try to keep it growing, as take the whole head and then plant a new one, because second or third time, it's probably not as good a quality lettuce. And, what I did when we harvested it the first time, I cut mine way down. You can see this is where I cut it there, see? And it's growing back. Now this is just curious. How does this taste? I'm going to chew on that. Actually, that tastes quite good. And here's another one that we chopped way down, but it's grown quite a bit back. Let's see. And that tastes quite good. That's interesting. So it's not a rule of thumb that, you know, they start growing up like that, they're bitter. These are. Maybe it's when they get that tall, they just get bitter. Let me just try this one up here. Yeah, that's bitter. That's definitely bitter. This isn't so. The shorter they are, could that be what it is? Anyway, remember we got, oh, I don't know, 10 or 15 pounds of celery. And this growing back. Now celery, it doesn't get bitter when you know, when it's bolting. But let's see how that tastes. Oh, that's still excellent. Excellent tasting, yeah. And then you look at this one. Let's see. See, these have grown back. If you remember when we cut them, yeah, you can see kind of here, you see those stumps right there. This one too, there's stumps there. These are growing back. They're growing back pretty well. So, if you look at that, we got, remember last time we got 10 or 15 pounds of lettuce. I think we got 30 pounds combination of celery, and celery is growing back nicely. We got about 2 pounds of peas. So thus far in our experiment, that's what we've gotten. So we're going to change these peas over here in these two sections out and put beans in there, and also put beans in this pipe up here, and we'll see what kind of a crop we get out of those. Now over here, for what it's worth, I had to move some of these lettuce. See, this is the other side. See, there's where that lettuce is, and this is the other side of the greenhouse. Now this side is a little warmer because there's no breeze blowing over here, and the coolers are over in that direction, and so they don't get a lot of air circulation here, at least forced air. Now these, you can see, there's a seed bud coming up right there. So these just went right to seed, and I moved them over here from the other place just to make room for those other ones. But these here, well, I'm not going to do it, but I pulled one off the other day. They're definitely bitter. They're terrible. And so these, I'm going to let one or two of them keep growing so that I'll get, you know, seeds there. They're going to seed, so I might as well collect the seeds when it's time. Now you can see I put some celery over here. That's growing good. Another celery over here. That's growing good. And here's some more of this broccoli. As you can see, broccoli and cauliflower and or whichever is which, these are growing quite nicely, and it's nowhere near time yet to, oh, look at that, there's my first broccoli head. I didn't expect to see that today. Excellent. So we know, I mean broccoli, cauliflower. We've got cauliflower. Let's see what we got here. Nothing there. Do we got anything in here? No, that's the only one that's showing real cauliflower. That's excellent. Now, the rest of these, there must be another cauliflower around. But point is, this is all growing. It's all growing well. And I'll be looking at these every day. And the tomato plants on the back, see, they're all growing well. Keep in mind, this is a floating raft, so there's no dirt in here. Now, I did put some in here in this grow bed that is dirt. And I'll have to look through these to see if there's any starting broccoli heads. Don't see any now. But you can see there's some more celery, and there's this whole thing is taken over by celery. I was trying to let the asparagus get started, get going. But if you remember from a previous video, we had an onion growing here. See, there's the top of it, another onion. It was kind of sparse. There was an asparagus plant here, and there was one over there. It was mostly just little tiny plants, but these have just taken over. So I'll show you a picture on before and after. Now this is where I got the elephant garlic out of, and you can see how the the celery has just grown like crazy. Now I'll be pulling one of these out here pretty soon because we like celery. Okay, now over on this side, we planted beets over here. If you remember, showing you how I planted those with that little pencil and I dug a hole. So look at the size of some of those beets. See that? Right down there. See, they're growing quite well. They grow quite a bit larger than that. So I think another month or so in here, and these will be really good to harvest. Now I just stuck this one in here, just dug a hole and put that one in there, and it looks like it's going to survive. Now these bull blood beets that were wintered over, they are surviving, they're doing well, but they are not as big as those. See, those are only a few months old. These are over winter, these are 6-7 months old. So I guess it's either that the bull's blood doesn't grow that fast, or maybe, I don't know, something else, who knows. But anyway, now we've gotten some beets that have gone to seed. Now you can see these are those cylindrical ones, just like these over here. And I'm going to let those go to seed so I can gather the seeds off of them when they mature, because those are good seeds. Well, let's review for the middle of May what we have so far from my challenge to see how much food I can grow out of this greenhouse. Just to see, is it real rational to think that you can survive off of a greenhouse this big if you grow things in here in the optimal way. Now, I'm far from optimal. I'm just a beginner. I'm still learning these things. But I think the lettuce, got quite a bit of lettuce out of there. It's just that you harvest that in a certain period of time and then it's over. Unless, of course, you can rotate the planting. And then the celery just keeps coming up, so that's a continuous thing. Peas, they come up and they're done. Maybe I can plant a better variety of peas that will grow more or longer or climb up the trellis. Beets, they're doing well. They're still growing. They take a lot longer. But anyway, we'll continue on, and I'll rotate beans in here, and then we'll see how many beans we get. So stay tuned and we'll see. Remember, it's the middle of May right now. Man, we've got, until November at least, maybe December, until it gets just too difficult to grow things in here. And one more thing to add. Now, if you remember these tomatoes that were growing here along the volunteers, these are all volunteers. But look at the size of these plants. See that? They're growing quite well, and there's just hundreds of them. I should thin these out, but I wonder if that could be another experiment, just to, well, I don't know, I'll thin them out, because if I just leave 6 or 7 plants here, I know that's enough to totally provide me with tomatoes that I can't even eat. But anyway, so the tomatoes are really doing well.